Now let's be honest, guys. You would probably kill for a really nice set of like really round, boulder-like Death Star delts, and a lot of people would for a really good reason. So today I'm going to show you guys the blueprint for how to get those delts. Now, as a prerequisite, before I start pretty much every video, it's important to let you guys know that yes, you can achieve these results, but there are two things you have to keep in mind. One, you need to be eating at a caloric surplus if you want to see any type of progress whatsoever. I made that mistake a long time ago. Sometimes I still make that mistake, but you need to be eating at a caloric surplus if you want to get bigger, get stronger. There's no way around that. Number two is you need to be training close to failure. I'm not saying you need to kill yourself every single set, every single rep, every single day, but you need to be training in a way to stimulate muscle growth along with getting adequate sleep. Now, with that said, I think that building pretty decently sized shoulders or getting big delts is pretty simple, but it's not easy. So like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm gonna give you guys the blueprints for how you can do that. And I think it really boils down to just 3 exercises that I think if you implement pretty well enough, you will definitely see results. So we have the first exercise, and I will say that probably I didn't do this exercise before, but it was another my last video I talked about Alpha Destiny. He's a really big inspiration and I follow a lot of what he says. He swears by overhead pressing. So about 1.5 years ago I started doing the standing overhead press, and it was really good and it absolutely blew up my shoulders. The only bad thing is that there's such a huge systemic fatigue when you're doing those, especially standing, that it would take away from the rest of my workouts. So what I started doing literally just last week, I want to say, was I started doing them seated like you're seeing right now. And it helps out a lot with not feeling super tired and using a bunch of like body English and stuff like that to try to get the weight up. It's way more focused. And I like this also better than like the seated, like slanted ones where I hate those because I feel like I'm pinching some type of muscle or something in my back. So these are perfect, strictly just pressing right in front of me. And for these, I don't like to think of them as going to the side as much as I'm thinking about like pressing it up in front of me, which is just a different cue that you can do if you're having like problems feeling it or you just like burn out really fast. Try to think of pressing it in front of you instead of like pressing it to the sides of you up. Actually, if you want to, you can still press it from the sides of you up, and it'll actually be like a subtle cue to hit your lateral delts. So this is the first exercise that we're gonna do for the anterior delts. Gonna do around like 3 to 4 sets of this, and then we're gonna do some lateral raises. And I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a tip with that one because those are really easy to mess up as well. So I'm gonna finish out this set and then we're gonna get done. So the next exercise that we have is the machine lateral raises. The reason why I do these over like the dumbbell lateral raises, I feel like this one, the resistance curve is a lot easier. And with the dumbbells, it's pulling it straight down. With these, it's literally like an arc, so there's tension the entire range of motion. And with these specifically, I'm leaning forward a little bit, and I'm purposely doing that so it's exaggerating the lateral delts, because if you just do it straight up, it can feel a little bit awkward. So lean forward a little bit so you're directly targeting the plane of the actual muscle itself. And then also, it's okay to go up on the range of motion. You don't have to stop at parallel. You can go a little bit above, and I actually prefer to do that because it hits your traps. And I don't do any direct trap work, and it's really good to just go ahead and get them involved because you can never have too big of traps, in my opinion. Well, actually, I take it back, you could. But like I said, we're just gonna go into these. I do around like 4 sets of these, and I try to go around 40 to 50 pounds. And don't try to go super heavy and ego lift on these and do stupid stuff like that. Keep the weight pretty decent to where it's challenging, but you wanna be like really consistent in each and every single rep. Each rep should look exactly like the last one. You shouldn't be swinging the weight. There shouldn't be any body English involved whatsoever. Keep the weight consistent, keep your form consistent, and you should be doing around like 12 to 15 reps of these. And they all need to look exactly the same. It's okay if you get to like the last one or two when you're like really having to like do a little bit of body English, but don't do it too much to where it takes away from the rep. Everything should be consistent and controlled for these. I also forgot to mention this before. For these specific machines, they have handles on them. The reason why I don't grab the handles is because I feel like when my arms are fully extended, it's pretty synonymous to literally holding a dumbbell out and doing that. So I'm just used to doing it without the handles. You can do it with the handles if you want to, if you feel a better contraction, if you feel the mind and muscle connection a little bit better. I do it without holding the handles just because, I don't know, it just feels a lot more consistent as far as like how you would actually pick things up and how you would actually move things around. You do it with your arms extended, you don't do them like bent like this. So I do it without grabbing the handles, and it works out really good for me. It feels like an actual like movement that I would do day to day, but it's completely up to you. I prefer to do them without. So I just got back from the gym, and today was a push day, so we did anterior delts, lateral delts, and things of that nature. Tomorrow I'm going to check back in with you guys because we're going to be working out probably the most neglected, probably worked out wrong muscles in the entire shoulder. So I definitely want you guys to pay attention to this next section, because what I'm going to tell you might sound a little bit weird, but I guarantee you it's going to make a really big difference in your shoulders. And if you get this tip right, it'll blow up your shoulders and make it look good from literally every single angle. Doesn't matter where you're looking at it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at the gym. Now, the last exercise, hitting the rear delt specifically, is pretty much any variation of a wide grip row, a T-bar row where the hands are out flared, or an underhand row, pretty much any row. And the reason why I do rows instead of face pulls is because face pulls, one, I just don't like the way that they feel. Two, it never really feels like I'm hitting my rear delts. It feels like I'm hitting more of my traps. And I even did this experiment just right now. If you put your arms out directly to the side of you and bring them back behind you, you can feel your traps contracting and working more than you can feel your rear delts. If you angle it slightly down and have your arms at around like a 45-degree angle and really pull back, you feel it way more. You can still feel your traps, but you can feel your rear delts a lot better. So having an exercise where your arms are out flared and they're kind of down at a 45-degree angle, they're not directly to the side of you at a 90-degree angle, you can really feel your rear delts way more than anything a face pull can do. Now, if you feel face pulls, that's really cool, but I would definitely prefer doing a wide grip T-bar row, a wide grip row, an underhand row, like any type of row where your arms are at a 45-degree angle. You're gonna feel your rear delts way more than anything. Funny thing is, one of my good friends who also works out, he asked me a while ago, what do you do for rear delts? Like, what do you do? And I was like, honestly, man, rows have completely made my rear delts. Like, I don't do anything crazy for them. On all my back days, I do like 2 variations of rows, and those are all the things that I need to blow up my rear delts. So definitely try these in your next back day. Alright guys, thank you for watching today's video. This video is, in my opinion, the best exercises you can do to build better shoulders, and specifically for rear delts, which you can do more targeted exercises to get better delts, just because I think that face pulls are just not the way to go. But like I said at the beginning of this video, if you are not eating enough, if you are not in a caloric surplus to get bigger, get stronger, if you're not pushing yourself close to failure, none of these exercises mean they're not going to do anything for you, because you're not putting in the work that you need outside of the gym to get the results that you want. With that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If there's a video or just a question that you have in general that you want me to cover, that you want me to answer, leave it with a comment down below. If you guys want to see next week's video, because it's going to be a really good one, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.